Java 15 has been released. Yeah, since Java 10, we have a new version every 6 months now, always in March and September. As Java engineers, we got used to have new major releases every 3 or 4 years. So if it makes hard to keep up to date, this video is for you. Today I will show 4 features that you must know. All of them were launched since Java 12 until Java 15. So let's get started with the new clean way to write sweet case statements. Okay, let's say that we have a country initials variable that stores a string. We want to show the name of the country for its initials. Okay, so sweet country initials, and here we can use case. The value is US. And here, system out print line, United States. Let's do the same for Brazil and England. Let's run that to see what happens. US, United States. Great. Let's try again. Account initials, VR, Brazil. Okay. That's interesting, but now we want to return the value to a parent method call or even a variable. We can use sweet as an expression instead of a statement. So for example, we have the system out print line here, and I want to return the value to the system out print line instead of showing the name of the country by calling every time the system out print line. So we can do a return here. Case US, I want to return United States. BR, I want to return Brazil or even England. IntelliJ is saying sweet expression does not cover all possible input values. Which means that we are required to have a default strategy here. So if none of those conditions are true, I want to return not found. Okay, let's run that. We are expected to see 2 country names. US, I want to see 2 United States, and for example, EN, England. And for example, if I use any other letters like key, not found. So the next feature that I want to show is a simple one, but it's pretty awesome. We can have now in Java text box. Let me show you. Let's declare a string variable called SQL. Okay, and here I want to create a SQL script, a select or a update or whatever. And instead of having those bunch of concatenations that we are used to have when we need to write a multi-line string, we can do a multi-line syntax by having a string between 6 double quotes in a row. So here we can write select from my table where field equals 1. Okay, let me show that. SQL. Yeah, but Wesley, this is a single lines, right? So let me indent that for a select button here, and we can see that I have 3 lines inside the same variable. Let's see what it shows for us. Select from my table where field equals 1. So this is pretty simple, but it's awesome and it's helpful to write, for example, SQLs or JSONs, HTML, XML, or whatever text that is multi-line text that you have in your daily basis coding. So since JDK 8, Java is really focused on bringing more functional style programming to the language. Another step is to have immutable classes that are final by default. So now we have the record classes. The record class is an immutable class that is only properties. Those properties are final by default, and we can use that to share the data between other places in our code without changing the value. It's a very good concept to the functional programming. So let's create a record class over here. I am calling this record as user, and the difference in the syntax is pretty clear when we have declared the fields this class will have. So let's put here, for example, a string username and a string password. It's a very simple user, right? And we can have the brackets here. To declare that is we don't need anything else in our user record inside here. We can have methods if you want, but we are not required to. And to instantiate a record class is the same way that we do for the other classes. So we have var user, let's use a new keyword here. Username is Wesley, and password is 1234. Okay, we can see that the user has two methods here that are the accessors. It's like the gets that we are used to have in the plain old Java objects that we are used to build. So username and password. We can also have the equals object. Let's create another user here, Wesley and 1234, and let's run it to see what it shows. Wesley 1234 true. Let's change that to a different string to see that it will return false. So a record class is a immutable data because we cannot change that. We cannot access the property itself. We cannot use the method to change that, or even by doing that. It's final by default. We cannot extend that. And also the compiler creates the accessors, the get accessors, and the equals and record for you. So it's a very good way to manage data among your classes, methods, and functions in your functional style programming application. So the last feature that I want to show you is the sealed classes. The idea is that when creating a superclass, we can define what subclasses can extend my superclass. So I will start creating a abstract sealed. This is the keyword that was introduced, that is very important. Sealed class shape, okay? And here I will have two methods. Abstract int get size and abstract int get name. Okay. First of all, IntelliJ is saying to me that sealed classes must have subclasses. So let's create a subclass for my shape class. We can call it class square, and let's extend shape. Class square must either be declared abstract or implement abstract method get size and shape. So let's implement the methods. Okay, and a square is now sealed, non-sealed, or final modifiers are expected. Let's say that this class is final, which means nobody can extend this class. So far so good, we are very used to do that. Let's create a private final size int size, private, final, string name. I need to fix that, yeah. String at name. And here it also returns a empty string. And here I will create a constructor for both final variables, size, and name. Okay, so far so good, nothing is changed. But let's say that we have another final class, circle, that extends shape. Let's basically copy paste that. But my circle does not have a name. So we have a problem because class circle must already be declared abstract or implement abstract method getName. I don't want to implement that, so circle cannot be a shape. I can either exclude that, but if I know that when I am building the shape class, I can permit only the square class to extend me. And here we cannot extend it anymore. So I can take out override here. In the permits class, I can add many classes that I want. For example, let's create another shape that we can call triangle extends shape, and it will say that I need to implement the methods, okay, but it will throw an error saying triangle is not allowed in the sealed hierarchy. So in order to be able to extend this class, I am required to add here as a, and it is working fine. There are many features from the latest versions that you can use in your database coding. But the most important is to keep your project up to date. Otherwise, you'll be missing important security and performance improvements. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave a comment on this video. Thank you for watching this.